Good afternoon. This is Ron Brown. It's the 23rd of January, and the market is about ready to close. Today I want to talk about volume spike history, just a short history, because I haven't been keeping these very long, but I want to take a look at stocks having a volume spike today and look back through December and actually back through January and maybe December and see if there were signals generated before. As always, the market is your teacher. Any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. Okay, I'm going to begin here. This is, I'll show you where I am. I'm in my volume, there's the closing bell, volume spike scan, today's data. In other words, these are being pulled out by using the intraday data today, and the filter is right here. I'm going to edit it, and let's take a look at this. If any of these conditions are met on the volume, if the intraday percent volume divided by the 20-day moving average volume is greater than 150%, or the intraday volume divided by the 50 is greater than 150, or the intraday volume divided by the 90 is greater than 150%. I did it this way because if any of these conditions are met, I want the stocks to appear through here. So looking over here, all the conditions are met on this stock. But if I get down here, you can see on the 90-day, it didn't trigger on that. And this one down here, it only triggered on the 20-day. So that's the reason I did the filter that way. Last close above $1, trading at least 250,000 shares. Intraday, one-day change is greater than 0. Common stock, yes. Closed-end fund, no. So what does that bring up today? At the market close, it brought up 59 stocks. Now looking at the scorecard, you can see that some of these are older signals and others are pullbacks. If this column is blank, the 3 is below the 6. If it's positive, the 3 is above the 6. So let's just go up here, look at critical metals, and I'll point out that the volume pocket pivots were coming in here where these blue lines are. Make it full screen so you can see it better. And these lines represent the 20, the 50, and the 90 simple moving averages. And that corresponds to what I had in the filter, what I have in the filter. Now you can see also that this shot up. The group was strong. There was a pullback, and then the group turned around. And this stock base for a while kept going down. But we were seeing buying here, seeing buying here, seeing buying here, and this is where we're seeing the volume spikes. Let's see what day this is. If you look over here, that was on 1/6. I guess I should do this. Wrong one. Alternate I. 1/6, that's on a Tuesday. And this is why I keep data and update it every day. I'm seeing how well these groups work. So volume spike, 1/6, volume spike up, and CRML is in here. Right here. So that was a 6th. And that's a second. Let's see if it's well, no, it didn't get above those. This is the first date right here where it's above. I'll take a quick look at the 5th. Not in there. And not in the second either. I didn't think so because of its relationship to the moving averages. Still, let's say you bought it at the open the next day. What's the percentage gain? I don't know if that information's in the box here. No, I have to go down here in the corner, or at the bottom. 68.6% over 10 days, even after the signal occurred. So this shows strong buying, and it followed through. Now, this is a little trick. I don't know if it's a trick or not, but anyway, I'm in all securities, but I have the volume spike scan for today in place, and these are the ones that are coming up. But then, if you go into the designer, well, let me bring January up. Any of these, the filter is still in place, so any of these dates, if you go into the volume spike up, if any of these stocks from this date, the 2nd, are in this list here, because of the filter, they are going to show up. So let's look at a few of these stocks. Here is a stock that, this is the 1st of January, I'm sorry, the 2nd of January. And let's look at this, find the 2nd. Right here. So on this day, this stock, Brand Engagement Network, never heard of it, was showing up. And let's take a look at it, see what happened with it. What did I say that was? The 2nd. The 2nd, which is right here, it's spiked. Look at this big spike. And look at the spike here, too. That shows you that there's interest coming into this. And it took a while, but this is where it's showing up here. Had a big day today. Up 324.8% over 14 periods. Now, anybody could live with that. I mean, obviously, you're not going to hit home runs like this all the time, and this period right here is a little bit shaky. Probably a lot of people got shaken out, but anyway, early buying, these spikes tell you when there are early buyers coming into a stock. Okay. Court. This one has really been beaten down. They didn't get approval on a drug. I think that's what happened. But look, they're starting to reaccumulate it. Right now, it might be one to put in your watch list. Now, I'm still on the 2nd here with this filter in place. Now, this one came up on the 2nd. And it was a bust, obviously. This is why if you trade these, you put them in with a trailing stop. If they go up, great. If they don't, you know how much money you're going to lose, or approximately how much. So that was a failure. And this one This is the second again. That's the fifth. Here's the second. It's a slow mover, but it's a tight chart. This is the fifth. Here's the second. I'm still on the second. And this one's had a nice move, and it's still going up. Found support in here. And one more. This one didn't work out at all, did it? Still could, I guess. But I don't like the looks of that. All right, let's move on down to the 5th, which is a Monday. And look at all these stocks that are currently in here that were in this, that are in this list. I mean, this right here tells me that there is some continuity with these volume spikes, because this is clear back on the 5th, and it's passing, these stocks are passing through today. So let's flip this over in here. And this is mining. This is the 5th right here, I think. Right here is the 5th. I put a crosshair, no pocket pivot volume, but you can see that this got above the 3 moving averages. So that was a volume spike. And I'm going to, if you bought this at the open the next day through today, that has returned 74.2% over 12 periods. Not too shabby. Now you can have a lot of busts with this too, but I'm just showing you that volume spikes do work a lot of the time. And now this, once again, we're on the 5th. And what is this one right here? Next resources. And this one has gone from a 9.8 up to, well, let's measure it. Bought at the open the first day. This one's gone up 39.3 over 11 periods. Now, you wouldn't scoff at that, would you? And the group line. I know some people don't think the group lines are important, but they are. Not always, but for most of the time, I would say. Now, here is Coherus Oncology. And this was on the 5th. That was this day right here. It had a shakeout the next day. This is a cheap. I'm not going to spend any time on that one. Let's look at this one. Going up, but I'm not going to spend any time on it. Cheap stock. Well, I don't. Here's the signal, and then it drifted down, and then look at this. It was stopping volume right here, and look at that move up. I'm just going to flip through these. Here's a loser. But it's in here again today. Let's take a look. I said it's a loser. It's a loser here, but it's reasserting itself, it looks like. Strength seen returning after a downtrend. High volume up bar closing on the high indicates strength. Tried to break it higher today, but it isn't going. But it's certainly worth putting in a watch list. Red wire signal would be right here. And this one, signal's clear back here. Hasn't done anything. It's base. Looks like it's trying to take off right now. Well, they've been in business a while. You can tell by all the quarterly earnings, at least a couple of years. Well, this one, I think we've looked at this one before. No, maybe not. Anyway, not going to be winners on all of them. But what is nice about this is I can go back, or you can go back into my groups and look at these stocks intraday with a volume spike scan, today's data, and then leave the filter in place from the warehouse and just go into the individual groups in the designer and see which ones are reappearing today that are in this historical group. I call it historical. Well, it is historical. It's in the past. So anyway, so you're going to see, a lot of the same stocks. Now let me try something else here. I'm going to go into the designer. I'm going to use group inclusion report. I'm going to clear this. I just want the volume spikes up. I'm going to have to do this manually, so I'm going to clear this and just, come on. Now that didn't take long, did it? Okay, so I'll run this. And now I can see how many times he's appeared. And, I just want those with a minimum of 7 appearances. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them. So I'll run this again. Make group from report. I already made a folder for them. And it'll give you the whole list, but it only, when you look at the group, and that's up here. Clicking the wrong things here. These are the 10 stocks plus an index. I don't think I made the index, did it? No. See if that did it. Okay, here's the index. And I'm going to go back into here. I don't know why. Yes, I do know why these stocks are not trading anymore. That's why they're blank. Okay, so let's just take a look here at some of these. This is based upon number of appearances this time. You can see the volume spike here. Looks like a thinly traded stock. Well, it trades over a million shares. How about this one? 380,000. Look at all of the pocket pivot volume here. Here's a nice one. Here's a nice one. Here's a real nice one. And nice run. There's your volume spike right there. You can see it. And your volume spike here. Let's see when this one started showing up. It's a biotech, IBRX. So let's go back to the group inclusion report, see if I can locate IBRX. I'll do Control F, IBRX. You type it in up here. Okay, it didn't start appearing until the 13th. And where's the 13th? Right here? That's the 15th. It appeared here on the 13th. And you can, let's enlarge this. You can see that the volume spike clearly went above all the moving averages. And then the volume really started coming in. I'm going to take it from the next day's opening to today's close. 116.9%, it said. And I lost it. So this is the 13th. Let's do this again. From here to the peak, and nobody gets out of the peak. 180% over 5 periods. Well, I shouldn't say nobody does because they're getting out. But look at that move. Up to that point. So I've shown you several examples of volume spikes that follow through, and yeah, there's a lot that don't. I mean, but when you see consistency in the volume going up and supporting these moves up, that's a really good sign. So you can build yourself a watch list. You can run this every day and then build yourself a watch list of the ones that are appearing, or you can run the group inclusion report, see which ones have appeared most often. But it's always a good idea to use these columns right here. You can see how long the signals have been in place. The 3-6 signals anyway, not the volume spike. Also notice the relative strength here. Alpha Tau Medical. But these have been, most of these are older signals now. But they were fresh not too long ago. Okay, the market's been closed for 45 minutes. I think when I started, there were about 50 stocks hitting volume spikes, and now it's up to 75. So this changes throughout the day. Just be aware of that. Here's one that is up 140% today. If you'd have chased it at the open, you'd be a loser if you're still holding. And this intraday range tells you a lot. It tells you right here that it didn't hold up well. The intraday gap was 188.95%. Changed 1153 from the low, but the volume was tremendous. Let's take a look at the next one here. Well, it's been around a while, not very long. Trades a lot of volume. But you can just go through here, and ones that you like, just put them in a watch list and paper trade them. You all have Thinkorswim, or you should have. Just put them in a list and transfer them over to Thinkorswim and follow them and see which ones keep going. And practice position sizing, practice putting trailing stops in, and just see how you do before you risk any money. If you like the results, by the way, look for the tighter charts. That's what Ian always did, and it's a good idea. You don't want loose charts. That's it. You don't have to go through all these gyrations that I did today. I just wanted to show you that on a lot of these stocks there is follow through and there is consistency. Not all of them. You can see that very easily, but there are opportunities. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's about 3:45, and I believe it's 3 below zero here. Bitterly cold. So stay warm and be safe.